Jurgen Klopp slams FSG. They have denied him a new centre-back. And are things going as swimmingly as you want at the club? That's to be seen. But Liverpool fans, how do you feel about Jurgen Klopp's outburst, about Jurgen Klopp revealing the inner goings on at Liverpool? And how do you feel about the fact that your greatest manager in the Premier League era has been denied a centre-back when it is clear to everybody that you need one so much? Hit that like and share button. Subscribe to the Football Terrace. Here we go. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. As I say, make sure you're subscribing. Follow us on the Discord server. All that information is in our description below. Like and share this on your social media platforms. Send it out to your friends and family. Anyone you think, especially this story about FSG denying Liverpool's greatest manager in the Premier League era the ability to buy a centre-back. I'm going to get onto should Jurgen Klopp speak out or not in a moment. But Jurgen Klopp has given Liverpool Football Club, the fans of Liverpool Football Club, something no other manager in over 30 years has done. Amazing football, a Champions League, and of course, winning a league title. And they sell Lovren, or they allow Lovren to leave. I'm not sure if he left or was sold off the top of my head. I think he was sold. And they don't buy a replacement in the summer. They then have their two best centre-backs and two of the best centre-backs in the Premier League and the best centre-back in the world injured for the season. And FSG refused to give him a new centre-back. I think it's absolutely tin pot. Forget wrong and disrespectful to Klopp for a moment. It's tin pot. If I'm a Liverpool fan right now, I honestly, I ain't buying no more kits. You're done out here. After, you know what they did in the summer, right? And the way they did the furlough thing, and Liverpool fans stepped up and stopped their club from doing it. That was an immoral, unintegral, cowardice move by billionaires to take money away from the working class people. Liverpool fans stood up against that. On a footballing sense, this is a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. A disgrace from FSG. Especially with this new Nike deal that they sold to the Liverpool fans as being a game changer. And I understand stadiums are not open. I understand the megastore at the club is not open. But the value of players has dropped at the same time. Literally dropped at the same time. There are other ways clubs are making money. 20% for every piece of Nike, Liverpool branded Nike merchandise. And they won't give the manager what he wants. These are Jurgen Klopp's comments. So this is what I read here. So Jurgen Klopp has revealed he was denied a centre-half in this transfer window. Klopp was blunt about the lack of backing, saying he recommended the urgent capture of a defender, but the matter was taken out of his hands by financially prudent owners. Even the way the media protecting SGT, prudent owners. Bruv, let's have it right. As tight as a duck's ass. Unprofessional. Unprofessional. Lack of ambition. Lack of ambition. Goes on, it goes, there is an obvious tension in the situation. Klopp added that nothing will change between now and the end of the window. So Liverpool fans, according to Klopp, don't get any hopes up that you're going to get anybody. It says that means trying to fix their issues caused by the constantly rotating back line and keeping key players from midfield to plug gaps. Jurgen Klopp's actual words were, I know, of course, what we would do in an ideal world, but the world is not ideal. So we have to deal with the situation. We have to improve with the squad. That's my job. So look, Klopp knows that he's got to coach this team and get the system clicking and working. And we've all spoke about that in these match reaction shows, that Klopp's system isn't working. The Thiago element in midfield right now isn't working. That element is causing problems. It's slowing Liverpool down. They're slow going forward, which is making it easier for teams who are playing low blocks or mid blocks to stop them, especially when they're counteracting the wide areas. The fullbacks invariably are not getting into the positions to put their dangerous crosses into the box. And there's no real creativity coming through the middle because it's too slow. The speed's gone because their midfielders are now in defense. It makes a lot of sense now. So Jurgen Klopp knows he's got to get that better. But for him to go to his board and say, look, we've got to put 30, 40 million pounds in our pocket. We want to retain our Premier League title. We want to be the champs. We want to go back to back. And FSG have told Jurgen Klopp no. They have told Jurgen Klopp categorically no. No. FSG have said no. Liverpool fans, how do you feel about that? We're going to open up the lines for you to call in and have your say in a few moments. We're going to share the link on the Discord server, so make sure you go and check that out. Big shout out to our sponsors as well today. Manscaped, you know all about Manscaped. If you're new to the channel, they're the #1 leaders in male grooming products. Go check them out right now. I've shared the link on Discord so you guys can go over there and have your say. I'm going to do a few comments and we're going to get KJ on the line here. It says here, Klopp has no clout at Liverpool. The coward will run away now, just like he ran away from Dortmund, is what Cavani SZN has had to say. Adam here is a Liverpool fan, says, we won the league by 18 points. You set of clowns make no sense. I don't understand. What are you saying? Sometimes you need to tell me what I make no sense about, because I've said a lot of things. Please be a little bit of specificity would help there. Roy Keane says, crying about injuries, crying about penalties, crying about the board. Absolute clown of a manager. We know VAI helped them win the league last season. Nazir here says, please tell me how he is spoiled if he is expected to retain the title and he's not even given a centre back when we have no fit centre backs. Tell me. Listen, I understand that. And if he's been refused, I think that's wrong. I really do think that's wrong of the football club. You know, as Anita called him in the summer, maybe, you know, broke FC. I don't think they're broke, though. I just don't buy it. Man like Steven here, it's good to have you back on the show, bro. I saw you cheating on us the other night on another channel. I wasn't happy. He says, seriously, if SFG don't give Klopp the centre-back that we need, then they have to go, in my opinion. And I understand that. And Liverpool fans have got the taste of success now. They don't want to give that up. They don't want to move away from that. Why would they? Hit that like and share button, people. Let's get this past 1,000 likes. Let's get FSG trending, people. Let's get SFG trending. He says, I'm glad he's finally speaking out. So that's the other question I wanted to pose as well. And maybe we'll do that when we're speaking to the callers. We're going to get KJ on first of all. KJ, morning, mate. How you doing, bruv?
Yo, listen, when I say we will have resistance, people are like, oh, what are you talking about? Now Liverpool fans understand, then it. Now Liverpool fans understand. These people, yeah, these owners ain't out here trying to make the people the best team in the world. They're out here for the pocket, man. Let's be honest, man. That's what it is. And you know what? Yeah, these men are Julius, fam, from Everybody Hates Chris. You watch that TV show?
Yes, bruv.
That's how tight they are, fam. Them man are out here with the coupons, fam, trying to get players and that. You know what I'm saying? All right, listen. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. And after they lost to Burnley, I was asking Liverpool fans who to blame, and mainly most people blame the players. Some people had something for Klopp, but not really a lot about the board. And there was some little mentions of FSG, but there's not enough. You guys really need to be scrutinizing your board right now, because it's not good enough. You're the champions of England and you can't buy a centre back.
In the summer, they were defending them, and I said to a lot of Liverpool fans, your owners are taking a risk. They think that they tried to finesse it through this season. I understand there's been a downturn. Everybody has had that. But at the same time, there was also over a 27.5% reduction in the valuation of football players. It's why you got Thiago cheaper. Jota in any normal window would have been nearer 60 million, a 50, 60 million pound deal. So players were cheaper. They had to put their money in their pockets to help the club move forward, because you never know what the future holds. And one thing Liverpool are not in control of is the progression, the speed of progression of a Manchester United, of a Chelsea, of a Man City. And if they allow themselves to fall behind the curve, they might go and spend big this summer, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to catch up, because if Man United this season they have so far, and if City and if Leicester and if Tottenham all progress in front of Liverpool, there's the mentality element to it. And then they all spend big in the summer to add. Jurgen Klopp and his team are behind again. They're behind the curve when they were in front of everybody. And that's what as champions, and that's why Man United dominated for 2 decades under Fergie. He knew when to, generally speaking, he knew when to rotate and evolve things, and he spent, and he sold, and he spent, and he moved things on. And that's what Liverpool, because part of that is Klopp. That's what they've got wrong this summer. They've decided, let's go one more year with this group, and it's all gone tits up. And
I tell you, and also, you know what this also proves as well, which Liverpool fans bought into. Klopp is not perfect. He cannot turn every player from dirt to gold, because if he could, Reece Williams would be little Van Dijk right now. You know what I'm saying? Neco Williams would be filling in for Trent, and there'll be no issues. People need to stop gassing this guy and his brother here like he is like the master maker of jewelry, fam, and can turn anything into gold. Like, stop. Admit it that Klopp cannot turn every single player into this amazing world beater like they always act like they can, because you know why? Because the players didn't have quality in the first place to do that. As I said, systems are platforms and bases for players to become brilliant. Systems are a platform. They are not the thing that makes players. And like, let's stop moaning about individual brilliance, and let's stop making out managers have this amazing system that is perfect, and all you need to do is be there and you become a world beater. Stop doing that. He's not a perfect manager. He's not the guy that can turn anything into gold. Yeah. And the Liverpool fans sucked that up. They lapped it up for the last 2 years. And now, look at all the players you bought under Klopp and have flopped. Minamino, Keita, you got Origi, Shaqiri, not good enough. You got all these players. Ox, he's had his moments, but in the end, he's not being good enough. Where's Klopp's magic touch? Where's the Midas touch now? I'm sick of hearing it. So,
I think I definitely pull on a great point there, KJ. 110%. Are you staying on, or have you got to go, bro?
No, I'm good, man. I'm good.
You can stay on. Okay, cool. We're going to go to some of the callers here and let them know what they think. We'll try and pick out the Liverpool fans that we can see first of all. Pinkman LFC first. You're a Liverpool fan. You've heard these damning comments, Jurgen Klopp, about the running of your football club. Give me your thoughts, bro.
You can hear me, Terry?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, give me your thoughts on what Klopp said.
Yeah, hi. My first time on the show, so excuse me if I got emotions, I just heard KG, I think it's his name, right? Saying about players that are not gold, right? So Origi was there before Klopp. Shaqiri was a 12 million pounds player. Minamino, 8 million pounds player. So I know they're not gold, but 7 million pounds or 8, then 12. Then Salah, 30 something, Mane, 30 something.
Yeah, I hear you, but Robertson, how much was he? Robertson was a cheap player as well.
Yeah.
Trent came out through your academy. So, and what I'm saying is, it's not about the price. It's about Liverpool fans making out Klopp can turn any player into a world-class player, no matter what the price is, where they come from. That is my issue that I was having. That's what my point was, that Klopp can't do that with every player because they need to have the quality.
Yeah, I agree. That's perfectly fine. But what I'm saying is, he pretty much gets the players right. Okay, so Naby Keita may be the one that it's gone wrong, but all other players are at their value, right? So, but this is right. Then Terry, you said the FSG are in there for the money.
KJ said that.
I think you said that as well. But sorry if you didn't. But okay. Any ownership wants to make money, right? But if we look since Klopp is in, at least FSG backed him. You said now why they don't bring a center back? Maybe because of this pandemic, of this situation, they are not sure about player values, revenue that's gonna come or not. So they are like, look, if we bring Upamecano, let's say, does this mean we will make in the next 12 months the money back or not? We can't say that.
Bro, come
Is-
on, come
No,
on.
can you say with Upamecano, Liverpool will win the
No,
league?
it's not about Upamecano. It's about a centre back. Yes, the pandemic is here.
Tell me
Yes,
one centre back that Liverpool can bring right now.
but your club needs a centre back.
Yeah, I know, but Klopp, let's say Klopp goes in and says, look, I need Ben White or Upamecano, or he can identify the player. The ownership or the chairmans, everyone there will look and say, look, he's a 50 million player, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, but there's
If we
obviously
bring him now,
there
will
are
that
obvious-
be the team
there are-
the next
there-
day?
there are other solutions though. Yeah, as much as we make it, people laugh at Arsenal for doing this, but they're about to get a player out on loan.
Okay, tell me one player that Liverpool can bring now.
Okay, there are options. I mean, you could have got. Look, you could go as a player that would come in now and play, improve your back line, and then maybe even just become second fiddle next year. Tarkowski at Burnley, he would improve. He is better than your current centre backs outside of Gomez and Gomez and Van Dijk. You've got, is it Dunk at
Yeah,
Brighton?
Lewis.
Lewis Dunk and Tarkowski. I'm not saying they're world beaters. You could bring them in now for 25 million. Tyrone Mings at Villa, as an example. These are the kind of defender that I think Liverpool could have gone out and gone, do you know what? We bring them in. They'll come in and solidify our backline because they are very good defenders. There's no doubt about it. We bring them in. They finish the rest of the season off, and then next year we work out in the summer. Not whether they stay or they go because they're here as permanent players. If they end up becoming the backup, they become the backup. But they're more reliable than Matip, who can't really play more than one game per week. And your two young centre-backs are nowhere near either the quality or ready to play in the team. That's what should have happened. And for me, I understand your point that you can't keep backing and backing and backing, and that's fine. That's a fine comment to make. However, if Liverpool want to stay at the top of the tree, you have to keep backing your manager. The reason why, so I know Fergie kept on winning titles in the last 4 or 5 since Cristiano Ronaldo left, but we became less and less potent. And you could, if you go back now and look with hindsight, we start. That was where the start of the regression for Man United begun. What kept their heads above water was the core that was still playing at that time under Fergie. The Rios, the Vidiches, the Evras, the Giggses, the Scholes, the Rooneys, the Van Persie got for 20 million quid. Like Van Persie had 3 more years left on his contract. There was no way that SFG, the Glazers were going to pay 60, 70 million pound for a player. We never really invested properly in that squad after 2009 in terms of big money signings. We didn't sign a damn central builder at Manchester United from 2007 until 2014. 7 years of that buying it. That's why we went backwards. Mm-hmm. And if SFG are going to do the same thing, where do you know what? We'll spend for 2 years, and then the following 2 we're going to scrape by. Liverpool are never going to achieve the level of success continuously that Klopp has generated. And if that's their plan, that's their plan. But Jurgen Klopp certainly don't want that. That's why he's come out and spoke about it. Otherwise, Klopp would be coming out and saying, listen, we'll rebuild in the summer. Everyone relax. He hasn't. He slammed the board. So Jurgen Klopp disagrees with your notion.
Listen, if you let me, I mean, if we have time, then so if we look at Klopp's strategy, maybe he didn't bring. I don't know if one player he brought in thinking, he's gonna be a good squad player. Every player he brought in, he thought, yeah, he's gonna challenge the first team definitely. I mean, look at Ox when he came in first year. He was definitely a starter, right? That Man City goal in the Champions League. Then he got injured. Okay, he became a squad player, but I don't know one player that when we brought in Salah, I thought he will be a squad player. Really, Mane on the right, Coutinho on the left. I thought Salah will be a squad player, but he went on and scored, I think 32 goals right in the first season. So he always brought in players to be at the first team. So you tell me, bring in Tarkowski. Would he want to come to Liverpool knowing that next year Joe Gomez is back, Virgil is back, there's Fabinho?
Bro, you've got to look at the situation at your club. Nearly all your centre backs are injury prone. Tarkowski is not injury prone. He would probably play more games than Joe Gomez. He would probably play more games than Matip.
I know what you.
I know. Going to come to Liverpool, bruv.
I know what you say, but it's not like just we play FIFA or we talk right here. It's a business and it's a team sport. So in that dressing room, I can't imagine one Tarkowski thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna go there." Second, the squad. You think Matip will like it or Klopp?
Matip ain't got a choice in it. If he's injured, bro. Listen, I understand what you're trying to say.
No, it's not about Matip.
You're trying to deflect and you're trying to defend from your ownership's current bad management. They're managing the team.
Let me just say, bro. So let me just say, sorry, KJ. Let me just say, I'm throwing Duncan Tarkowski out there as an example. I'm not a scout. I don't spend. I spend almost less than 1% of my time, even for my own club, Man United, scouring the world looking for players that would fit our system. Or I just don't spend energy doing it. That isn't what football fans are there to do. I'm making the point, and you've asked me a question off the top of my head. I can think of two. Your scouting network should be out there looking at replacements. Now, Upper Meccano is a great example. He's available for 42 million euros in the summer, which by any standards, pandemic or no pandemic, is cheap for a young player with his potential. Now, it's highly likely he's going to go to Bayern Munich. They're going to come in and get it done. That's where I'm looking at Man United here as well. I want us to put in a £55 million bid today. I mean, not literally today, but at this point, I said, you know what? We're not even going to let it go to the summer. Let's put in a £50 million bid now above the buyout clause, and let's try and get this deal done. Even if it doesn't work, we've shown the intent to do it. The problem is with FSG is there's been no attempt. It's no, we're not buying one. It's the we're not doing it element, which I think's got to Jurgen Klopp. But mate, I really appreciate the call. Great.
One more thing, sorry. So I didn't say you said Tarkowski. Just as an example, I think we need a player that will come to challenge the first team. And about FSG not backing Klopp, I think they back him. Let's remember with Alisson, with Van Dijk, they back him, but they need to be like not sure because you can't be sure, but you need to have a real idea that this guy is the main guy.
Bro, I hear that. Listen, thank you for calling the show and having the say, mate. Top man, all the best. Thank you. Listen, callers, the link shared on the general page on our Discord server. You can phone up and have your say. You can come on and disagree with us. You know, we'll still be polite at the end of it. It's nice to have a bit of a heat debate. Next up, we're going to get two callers on, two more Liverpool fans. Then we're going to go to the rivals. We know that's why the Football Terrace is so popular. Rival chat rules. Only channel, barring other YouTubers collaborating. We're literally the only channel in the world that does this. They're all starting to do it though, aren't you? You know, they're all copying the Football Terrace. We love that. You know, I mean, what is it they say? Like imitation is the highest form of flattery. We've got Terry Tibbs. We've got man like Ram with us here. I want to go to Terry Tibbs first of all. Mr. Tibbs, good morning. What do you make of Jurgen Klopp's outburst? Is it right of him to call them out, or wrong? Where's your head with it?
Nah, I think he's lost his head a bit with that one. I think if you're going to call players out, you need to do it behind closed doors. You know, we're champions. He's a champion winning manager. You know, he needs to show a lot more tact than that. I think his team selection for the Burnley game, we all know Burnley play a low block. The Burnley game, for me, he got it wrong. He should have played Firmino, regardless of his, form in front of goal, and he should have played Salah as well. I think you give that chance that Origi had to Mane, Firmino or Salah, it ends up in the back of the net. And it's a totally different game. Burnley can't play the low block no more. They need to come out, they need to attack. But yeah, in regards to his comments, I think it was very tasteless. I think you need to do it behind closed doors. Ranting and raving on TV is not going to, force FSG to give you the money. If anything, it's going to get the backup. Anyone on a man and Stevie Wonder can see that we need recruitment in defence, and we need a centre back desperately, because playing Fabinho at the back, although he's been absolutely phenomenal there, it's not his position. We're a better team when he's playing in central defensive midfield with Wijnaldum and Henderson just in front of him and the front three, because the way we play, our counter press and winning the ball up high is brilliant with them there, because that's the natural positions. And I think we need a defender desperately. And I heard you say about Upper Meccano, and I totally agree with you. I think this is the time to put the money up. We're talking about $1 billion company that owns us. We're talking about, we've won the Champions League, the TV rights money, the Premier League money. Where's all that money gone?
Bro, do you know, I want to pull on that for a second. I understand you not wanting Klopp to kind of air the dirty linen in public, because, you know, I've spoken about that a number of times on the channel. That isn't always the right way to go about things. Most managers tend not to get what they want. You know, I can't really think of many examples where a club gone, all right, we'll change our approach. But what you say there about the club being billionaires, that's the standout point to me, because I've seen some people defending FSG, like, yeah, but they've got to be prudent. It's a downturn. There is no such thing as a downturn for billionaires in this world. Billionaire, even millionaires, but especially billionaires, whether it's the organization or the individuals, it doesn't matter if this recession that the world's seeing drops again in half. They're billionaires. They're fine. Like, these people could lose £100 million tomorrow. They'd be frustrated, but their lives carry on as normal. Do you get where I'm coming? It's an absolute, it's not even £100 million they've got to invest. It's an absolute nonsense for them to claim poverty when they're billionaires. It really frustrates me. Ram, I'm sorry, I didn't know if you said Ram. I mean, give us your thoughts on it, bro.
What's up, guys? Good morning. I feel a little bit stabbed in the back, really, because if you look back 2 years ago, I said that, well, I put down in the comments that it looks like FSG are going to show some ambition when after the Champions League final, signing Fabinho, Shaqiri, Alisson, and now that they're at that point where we're top, they don't want to do anything, and it's quite concerning. And Klopp knows about this, because Dortmund were in that period where, when they're at the top, their business structure was absolutely poor, and it looks like we're going to follow suit. And now we know that the deals of like Sven Botman and them lot, Klopp wanted those kind of players, and seeing as though FSG don't want to fork out the 20 or 15 or whatever much money there is to pay for him, it's very, very concerning. And if we want to stay at this top level, we have to continuously improve this squad. And I feel like maybe FSG are at this point where they feel like we've peaked. We can't do any more. I don't think we need to do any more, and it's concerning.
Listen, I understand that. There's a comment here from Kieran that says, I'm sure I've seen somewhere that Liverpool are down 200 million due to COVID, as would most of the top 6 teams. I'd imagine quietest January window in Premier League history. So I understand that a lot of clubs are tightening their belts, but there aren't very many of the top 6, as an example, that need to invest right now. It'd be a nice, and this is the difference right now for everyone else in the top 6, including my team United. It's a nice to have. It'd be a nice to have another player or two, but it isn't a necessity. If Man United, if Bruno was out injured for the rest of the season, as was Paul Pogba, Man United fans would be demanding we buy a midfielder this month, because especially if we're in this position where we can still go on to win a league, and Liverpool from this point can still go on to win a league title. And you're not talking about hundreds of millions of pounds of investments. You're talking tens of millions. I get they're down, but everybody's down across the world, which means players are cheaper. So it becomes.
I think that's what annoys me right now. Is like, so I see some Liverpool fans in the comments saying you can't spend your way to the top. It doesn't work like that. Blah blah blah. But I'm like, no one's asking you to go out and spend 200 million in January.
Exactly.
Like 25 million will get you a centre back. Like, it's in the grand scheme of things, it's not that much, and that's all people. And that's what Ram, that's what Terry Tibbs, and that's what other Liverpool fans who aren't so attached to FSG are asking for.
Well, just do you know what hurts? Do you know what hurts a lot? Do you know what hurts a lot? Eder Militao is available on loan for £2.5 million. £2.5 million. A very, very talented young centre back available for £2.5 million for a loan with an option to buy. I don't understand why, when we as a club need a centre back, don't go after these kind of players. It's confusing.
I understand
it's frustrating, because in the summer we went out and got Diogo Jota for 42 million, and what a buy he's been. He's been injured, and without him being in the team, you know, it's been evident. Now in the summer we released a number of centre backs, right? Dejan Lovren was one of them. We knew in the summer that we were light in centre backs. Every rival fan, including Liverpool fans, were saying, but what happens if Van Dijk and Gomez get injured? You know, and everyone played it off as, it'll be all right, it won't happen. Guess what? It has happened, and we're light at the back, and we didn't invest in the summer in a centre-back. We invested in a midfielder, realistically, that we didn't need, but I'm glad he's here. But if we're going to look at facts, we needed the centre-back more than anything. We needed to reinforce the centre-back position, and we didn't do it. And we're paying the price.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right.
One defender, Terry, that everyone's overlooking that is available and would change every single team in the Premier League. Phil Jodini. Phil
Jones.
He's available.
Ram, it's a joke. You don't have to say no. It's a rhetorical joke.
I know.
The one thing I'd say to the comments, you can't spend your way to the top. Liverpool have partly done that. When you buy a goalie at Alisson's price, when you buy £30 million attackers, £50 million midfielders, £75 million defenders, I get you bought some cheap and you bought some through the academy, but you have partly spent your way to success. And that's why I think a lot of rivals have always kind of laughed at the notion that Klopp buys kind of sort of rough gems and he kind of polishes them up to be like sparkling diamonds. There's an element of truth in that, but also he has gone out of times and gone, do you know what? I just need to go. I just want the best goalie in the world, and I just want the best centre back in the world to plug that to plug and play. I need like a white labeled solution to plug and play and go. And by the way, there's no harm in that. Every single top manager, Fergie, Pep, and all of them have done it at one stage and at one point where we're going, do you know what? Man United, like, you know, early 2000s, you know what, like we're doing well, like we're challenging, we're there, we need to improve our backline. Oh, we've got these academy players. Oh, there's this 10 million, there's this £5 million player. We're talking relative to them times. Nah, let's go and get the best centre back in the country for £27 million record. He's gonna wear a white suit when we buy it as well. Man like Rio, step up. Like, it happens all the time. It doesn't make Fergie a bad manager because he couldn't turn Mikel Silvestre into the Premier League's best centre back. It doesn't work like that. Terry, Ram, thank you both for coming on, having your say. Really do appreciate it. Not a problem at all. We're going to get some rivals on now. We're going to get we're going to get on first. We're going to get Pav on the show, and we're going to get Jezza on the show. We're going to Pav first of all. What you saying, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm just here to add some more fuel to the fire to these Liverpool fans. So I was just reading an article just before you went live. You do know, like, you know, their partnering sports brand, the Boston Red Sox. You know that FSG are signing players on $14-15 million deals. Do you know why? Because they've got injuries. Now, as Liverpool fans, does that make you angry that they're signing players, free agents, paying them $15 million contracts to cover their injuries? Yet you've had injuries for how many months, and there's not been a single rumor or anything to link you to any players to cover your injuries. Like, what's going on with your club? Like, you've made so much money over the years, Champions League money, Premier League money, your night deal, and you're not bringing in anyone. Like, are you embarrassed of how your club's being run? Like, what's going on?
Yo, you know what's mad? Yeah, we need to, as football fans with American owners, who have multiple teams on their portfolio, need to remember this. As frustrating as it is, English football is not their main priority. It's not their first concern. They're American. They're first. If they've got sports teams in NBA, if they've got sports teams in the NFL, the NBA, if they have all these different teams, not NBA, the MLB, sorry, the baseball, even the NHL, if they have teams in these areas, in these sports, that will always become their first priority, because you know why? It's their it's probably their favorite sports. It's probably their national sports that they care about more. Football I'm assuming football for American owners ain't really about football. It's about an opportunity to make money. You know what I mean? And so we just sometimes, like, hearing that, Pav, it don't surprise me. It does not surprise me one bit, because it's like, what would they personally rather invest in, baseball or football? And even though football is we believe the greatest sport in the world, they will choose baseball because that's what they like more. You know what I'm saying? And I think we just need to accept that.
See, that's the mad thing about it. Like, when these owners come in, like, these Liverpool fans are so gassed they thought that they literally thought that these owners were going to take them to the promised land. Yeah, yes, they've won stuff for them, but what they're doing now, are they still happy with what these owners are doing? Like, we've seen other American owners come here. Like, look at our owners, look at Arsenal owners. It's literally a trend with these owners. Like, you've got Burnley with American owners. They're not here to take Burnley to the next level. They're just here to skimp up whatever cash they can out of their fans. It's kind of a joke, but I'm kind of happy as a rival. I'm kind of happy what's happening with Liverpool. Like, it don't really concern me. I hope they don't buy no one. They don't buy no one. It's better for other teams, better for us. Like, I'm happy with what's happening with them, but like, I can't stop laughing about it. But yeah, it's just obviously, as Liverpool fans, like, you got to start raising some serious questions, man, because when your owners are out there giving $15 million contracts to free agents, and you're out here playing centre mids.
I get that. We've got Jezza on the line. Jezza, what do you want to say as well, bro?
I wanted to ask you guys 2 questions. Your opinion on the whole Wijnaldum thing. I can't, for the life of me, understand why they're letting go of him. You would think.
Well, look, I think on that quickly, I don't think they're letting go of him out of pure choice. I think what's also happening at Liverpool now is this element of players when you sign players that don't love your football club, they go there for professional reasons, and all of our clubs suffer this. They'll do 2, 3, 4 years. They'll win things, but then when I was at an age where this next deal he signs is the last proper deal of his life, because it'll be a 4 to 5 year deal, and that will see through his peak years. I think it's a mental thing. It's, do I want to spend the next 5 years at Liverpool? And he doesn't mean that from Liverpool, the city, or the club, or Klopp. It's what do I want to achieve? And I think he feels, you know what, Barcelona, maybe it was his dream club as a kid. You think, maybe I do my last few years there. And you look at Thiago is a prime example. The reason that he wanted to leave Bayern Munich is his career has been a case of, all right, did it at Barca, let's move on to Bayern. Done it at Bayern. Let's go and do it. Let's try and do it in England as well, because it's a legacy. And that's how some people are. They want to do 2 or 3 different leagues, different teams. So I don't think it's Liverpool not wanting him. I think it's the player maybe wanting to go in a different direction with the professional career. I think it's as clear cut as that, to be honest.
Oh, okay, cool. I would agree with you. And obviously we've established that the FSG aren't going to, provide the spending power to stay at the top. But who are they going to sell in their squad right now realistically for value, to go and reinvest back into their team?
There are many players they can sell for value. They're the champions of England. Ox will go for a decent fee. Cater would go for a decent fee. Like, Shaqiri would go for an all right fee. Origi would go for an all right fee. They've got players there. When you're the best team in England, your squad player worth money. You know what I mean? So there's no excuse of, but our team ain't worth much. Now your team is worth hell of a lot. You know what I'm saying?
They sold Ryan Brewster for 24 mil.
Exactly.
I don't understand how they do this.
Are good at shagging people. They are.
Yeah, they're good at it. I mean, and also, listen, I know Liverpool fans hate hearing this. I know they do. But I think one of, if not both, of Mane and Salah are also doing what Genie is doing. They're looking at the future, go, maybe we want to try something else. No different to Carlos Tevez at Man United. No different to Cristiano Ronaldo at Manchester United. They want to do new things. Berbatov was the other end of the spectrum. We were like Berbatov's last major contract in team. And this just happened. And it's normal for this to kind of transpire and take place. I think they should also look to... in my opinion, to, as I say, cash. I think they should cash in on Salah or Mane, 120, 130 million pounds, and then reinvest and get things done. Listen, Jezza, Pav, thank you both for coming on, having your stay this morning. Really appreciate it. Chat to you both again soon. We're going to go to some more callers here. We're going to get Amir Iqbal onto the show first and foremost, and we're also going to get man like Aaron as well. I'm going to go to Aaron first. What you saying, bro?
Hi, Terry. How you doing?
Yeah, very good, mate. What do you want to say?
Well, look, first of all, prepared for West Ham. And secondly, looking at the situation with the FSG, I think it's just another American ownership situation. I feel like either if they're not going to get backed in January or the summer as well, I feel like it's only going to be a matter of time before Klopp walks. And I think that it's sort of going in the direction of Arsenal, in my opinion, because I mean, you said it before about some guy said it before about the Boston Red Sox and FSG. There's a bit of similarity here with Kroenke and the Rams and spending a bit more on the Rams' new stadium and getting them into the Super Bowl. There's a bit of similarities going on here. And it's the whole thing with American owners. I've been so passionate about the American ownerships in the Premier League because I feel like to have these American sports teams, but then to have the Premier League as a bit of a cash cow, in my personal opinion, is an absolute disgrace. It's disgraceful to our sport. It's disgraceful to the fans. It's disgraceful to the clubs that have built a rich history in the Premier League and around English football. And I personally feel like not getting a centre back and publicly announcing that, I feel like could be a major step forward in English football, because not many I know a few managers have done it in the past, but not someone like Klopp has gone out for a good few years now and actually come out and said, the board aren't giving me what I want. The board aren't giving me this and this. So I've got to praise Klopp for that, because he's a trophy-winning manager. He's took a Liverpool side with the defence as shambolic as Arsenal's and taken them. He's gone out and got the investment. And that's what I feel like. And you referenced that with the Manchester United midfield situation with the 7 years without a proper midfielder signing. So, and it's the American ownerships again. And Ferguson, and I've said this all along, Ferguson only did well in his last years at Man United because the trophies hid the boardroom mistakes. And I feel like Jurgen Klopp is going to hide boardroom mistakes, but how long can he hide them before he walks and Liverpool start going on that tangent again where it's like Rafael Benitez, he can do a good job, but he can't give him the trophies and they have to hand the club over.
I hear you on that. Amir, what do you want to say, bro? How you doing?
Good, man. I was just going to say, basically, I personally don't think whether FSG invested that money in Ben Mee or Vestergaard or one of these kind of centre-backs, I don't think they're going to freaking challenge. I just think that Klopp's actually past his best in the sense that he's mentally broken. I know it sounds a bit out there, and I've got good reason to say this as well, because if you recall, before they spent their big money on Van Dijk, what was their performances like? What was their games going like? The general gist was, I don't care what's going on in this game, but I'm going to outscore you. You're my opponent, and you might put 3 past us, but we're going to put 4 or 5 past you. Where is that Liverpool gone? They've lost the centre-back, fair enough, but where is that mentality gone? They can't score a goal to save their lives. They never had a game where, a 4 or 5 game run where they couldn't score a goal. It's just not like Klopp. His element of we're going to go hell for leather, heavy metal football is no longer present at Liverpool. And I think that's the thing, that's the key right there for them to even have any success. And now they've lost it. Yes, they became a little bit more pragmatic when they got their centre-back in and they realised, hold on, we need to see out a few more games here in the way that we manage them. But now, forget your game management. You can't even go hell for leather. So you've lost the thing that made you great. And you can't tweak it in order to shore up your back. So now you've just got a half-decent defence and an attack that can't do jack. So for me, whether they do the investment or not is completely irrelevant.
I mean, listen, I don't know if I agree completely that Jurgen Klopp is. We're getting a bit of feedback from the line. I've got to mute you for a sec. But I don't know if I completely and utterly agree that Jurgen Klopp is absolutely past it and mentally broken. I think the team has been found out a little bit. I do think that's true. But I think and feel that it can be. I think Jurgen Klopp has the ability to build a new team again. But there's 2 things in that: backing from the board and fans having patience. Though it's amazing, you would not, if you'd have said back in, let's not say May, the league didn't end in May. If you'd have said back in June, when they were lifting that trophy, that within 7 months, FSGOUT would be trending, Klopp would be ranting to the media about not being backed, and they would be on the edge of dropping outside the top 4 and being almost 9 points behind Manchester United, who are at the summit of the league. You would have been certified as crazy. Nobody would have believed you. So this is where this is one thing I'd say to Liverpool fans. Everyone's going to have a corner they take. I'm going to back Klopp 100%. I'm going to back the ownership. I think they're both right and wrong in certain areas. So maybe some people are going to be balanced. I think the one thing Liverpool fans have to understand is your rivals are coming for you. They're going to banter you. They're going to push you. The media is going to start to pull on the threads. They're going to start to do that, which they haven't seen in a long, long time. I mean, remember, it was only the other day, Sky Sports ranked nearly every single player in the Liverpool team after the Burnley game as a 7 out of 10 in terms of performance. But that will flip and change if the fan base does. The fans need to not grow a backbone. That's maybe a bit disrespectful, but the fans need to come out and step up a lot here. We're going to add Josh to the stream here. Josh, welcome. What are you saying, bro?
Hey, how are you all?
Yeah, well, good, mate. What do you want to say about this situation?
Oh, I'm just seeing this. I mean, this is great for banter's sake, being a United fan. But I mean, on the flip side, it's actually quite tragic that you're seeing that all the American owners coming in, buying out the clubs in the EPL. That's, I mean, I don't know how it ranks on, say, prize money and how lucrative the money is. But I mean, these owners coming in and buying out, they're just happy to maintain their status in the Premier League because the broadcast rights are really high. The prize money is really good, spread out quite evenly. Now, if you make yourself into the Champions League or the Europa League to get any extra money, then it's all bonus. But I mean, why would FSG want to spend money in what they're going to claim to be a hard period when Liverpool are coming off the back of a Champions League and a title, and they're back in Champions League again? There's just money pouring in which they're going to be able to fork out to their other main brands over in America. And like everything's been said before, there's really no there's no way that I can see them going forward until, I guess, even post-pandemic, where values of players will come back up, the market will be more balanced, and they can actually turn a profit on these players that are going to be worth more in, say, 12 months.
Yeah, listen, Josh, bro, everything you say makes sense. The problem is they're a £1 billion organization, and this is what people keep saying. All the cash is tied up, all the profits are tied up in investments such as stadium growth and everything else, and all of this is right from a corporate structure point of view. But they're a £1 billion organization that can and have the abilities. They have pots of money. I don't know, they're in America, they're in the Cayman Islands, they're in Switzerland, wherever they are around the world. They have the capability of going, do you know what? We want this title. Boom. There's a £50 million injection of cash into the football club to go out and buy somebody with. They can just simply do that if they want to. Their decision, it's a conscious decision. This is often the case where, sometimes we see like a really rich celebrity chef whose restaurants collapse and we're like, oh, he's gone bankrupt. No, he hasn't. The limited companies surrounding that restaurant have gone bankrupt. The chef had decided to put no more of his personal funds into it, but he's still a very wealthy person who's still a multi-millionaire, etc. That's what's happening here. FSG, the entity, is deciding to not put more cash into the Liverpool element of its brand, and that's where the argument, and that's essentially, in the cold light of day, with all the corporate spin, all the accounting and the creative accounting techniques that people have, it's RSFG willing to put more of their cash into the Liverpool project during the of uncertainty to keep them at the top of the league, and it looks like the answer is no. Josh and everybody else, thank you all very much for coming on. All your support of the Football Terrace really means a great deal to us. It does. Thank you very, very much indeed. We're going to get Chris on the show now, and we're going to get Mohammed on as well. Mohammed, I want to come to you first. Give me your thoughts and feelings on what's going on today with SFG out trending worldwide.
It's just one of those things, isn't it? I mean, yes, we do need to get a centre back in, but then again, look at the stuff that FSG have done for us so far over the years. I'm just saying we just have to be careful what we wish for. Yeah, because we could be in a worse situation than we are at the moment.
Sorry, go on, KJ.
I don't think anyone's on this panel. I know me and Terry aren't insinuating you guys should be FSG out. You know what I mean? We're not saying to force them out, but what we're saying is you should be asking questions. You should making your voice be heard, because it's not good enough. And if you look at everything that they've done for you guys as a whole, surely it should annoy you more, because like, we've seen you do this. We've seen you invest. We've seen you make us better. Why now stop? You know what I mean? And that's what I would be as a Liverpool fan. I'd be like, why are you stopping now? like we have a chance to go back to back, which is a very limited thing in football. Only a few clubs have done it in the Premier League. We have a chance to go in and potentially win the Champions League again. Why are you now deciding to stop investing? Why are you now choosing now to stop wanting to be the best team in the world? That's where the frustration lies. And I think Liverpool
KJ, it's because they're reactive. It's because they're reactive. Sorry for interrupting you. It's because they're reactive. They're reactive. It took us losing a Champions League final, Karius making those 2 blunders for them to bring out the bank and bring Alisson in. It's always been reactive with these guys, man. Look, we're not denying that FSG has done great things for us because they have. I'm never going to deny that. It's just that every single time it seems like it's a bit late, you know. It's never when we truly need it. It's usually when we made a mistake here. Okay, we're going to rectify it next season. It's always one step too late to me, and that's my issue.
Yeah, I understand. There's a comment here. What's your thoughts on this, Chris? Where people say, "I'm sorry, but it's basically Klopp is starting to show cracks in his managing. It's a sinking ship. When will fans realise this?" So there's a lot of rivals out there that are saying actually Klopp's kind of ranting about not getting the players he wants because it's more his system that's being found out. It's more his tactics and his lack of ability to motivate. But what he's doing is he's trying to put this onto FSG. He's trying to blame the ball for not buying players when in fact it's his mismanagement. And maybe I suppose what I've seen from a lot of people is a lot of Klopp signings have also not hit the heights, whether it be through injury or ability, whether it's Minamino, Shaqiri, of course, the big ones that stand out are the Naby Keitas of this world. Do you think there's any element of this where Klopp's trying to deflect from his own deficiencies?
I mean, 100%. But I feel like it has been exposed a bit, his system, because in that Burnley game, when I saw the lineup, I was legit happy, to be honest, because our main 3, those guys we've relied on for so long, they haven't been scoring goals. So we needed a change. And of course, it didn't work in the end, but that just exposed that the depth isn't good enough. And why isn't the depth good enough? Because we've had this squad for a good 3 years now. Why hasn't there been investment every season to increase and improve this depth that we have? And it's frustrating on both. I understand where Klopp is coming from, but FSG should have backed him a bit more, in my opinion, because these Origis, like KJ was saying, the Origis, I think Shaq is good enough, but the Origis, the Minaminos, they're not good enough. They're not good enough. Look, it took Man U a few seasons to get their depth together, and like we shouldn't be behind Man U, considering how much more successful we've been throughout the years compared to you guys in recent years. I'm talking about.
No, I understand it. There's a comment from Kieran that says, "What if we have someone lined up in the summer, a quality centre back, and buying now means we won't get our summer target?" Do you know what? I understand that, but then why would Jurgen Klopp be moaning? He wouldn't.
But we need the centre back for like right now, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and I get that. But I suppose to Kieran's point, I understand you need it now, but if it meant not getting the number 1 target in the summer, I would also understand that, and if I was a Liverpool fan, be accepting. But why isn't Jurgen Klopp saying it's all okay? We've got a plan. Everyone, the fact Jurgen Klopp's bemoaning it tells you that he's frustrated. So that I get your point, Kieran, but your manager, Jurgen Klopp, disagrees with you.
That's also, if you notice how like someone like a Bayern Munich or all these top clubs operate, when you've got a summer target which you can't get right now, you get someone on loan. Loans exist for a reason, and you plug the gap for the 6 months you need it for. Eden Militao, like Tom said, is available. You could have done a deal with Leo. I'm pretty sure if you did a deal with Leo for Botman, instead of buying him, you loan him, and I have an option to buy him there, so you got covered next season as well. Anyway, there are solutions and ways to get around this COVID pandemic, and FSG, through not wanting, or maybe they're not creative enough to think of a solution. Maybe that's also the case. Like Liverpool fans, it's okay to spend money. It's okay to go out and get players. You know what I mean? Like go and get a player on loan if this theory of the big summer signing is what you believe. You should be still annoyed because kind of like, if we're going to go get Upamecano in the summer, why can't we get someone in loan to fill the gap? Because you still need it. But the gap is still there. The gap ain't going nowhere. So you should be annoyed anyway.
Yeah,
No,
because
yeah. So go on.
because the risk of there's a risk if we don't get anyone like a centre back, we risk like losing out on a couple of trophies this season, which we could have easily got if we had a centre back.
Forget trophies. We're going to miss top 4 if this form continues. And I feel like a centre back does solve a lot of those issues, because this is a domino effect to me. Because we have to play our best centre mids at centre back, our midfielders aren't potent enough, and we can't advance properly. And because the midfield isn't advancing properly, we can't press from the front properly. And because we can't press from the front, it's a domino effect. We're not scoring goals because of this. And I feel like getting that centre back, we can put a lot. We can put a Fabinho when Matip is fit back in midfield. They can be pressing a lot. Thiago can play the 8. He can be creative, and then it can open up our attack. I'm not saying it's going to solve all our issues, but it stops a lot of the bleeding, and I don't understand why FSG can't see this.
Listen, I understand exactly what you're saying, and it's a very well-articulated point that can't in itself, I don't think, can be debunked in any way. It's a great theory and a great thought. I just feel that in the cold light of day, barring Roman and Sheikh Mansour, no big club, none of the big 6 in this league have owners who they all want to win the league. They all want to win the league or be successful to certain degrees. But none of the owners of Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, Tottenham, their desire to win doesn't equal their desire and willingness to put their hands deep into their pockets. Where Roman Abramovich and Sheikh Mansour would do that right now. I get that the situation is different. I mean, Sheikh Mansour basically is, one of the richest people in the world, which means they have more money. But everyone that owns the top 6 clubs, family-wise, business-orientated-wise, are billionaires. They can all of them, if they want to, can put more money in. They just choose not to do it. And I think maybe that's something that we as fans have to kind of learn to accept. But it's hard when you're at the top of that pyramid, when you're right up the top of the and then you drop down a bit. And as you say, if it goes really wrong this season, and you fall outside the top 4, as a fan, it's painful because you know what's coming from everyone. You know that everybody is coming for you with banter, with laughter, worst title holders ever, worst this, worst that, to go from nearly 100 points to dropping outside the top 4. Liverpool fans will have their excuses, but they end up going unheard. People will not listen to the excuses. They're just going to ban. And I think a lot of Liverpool fans can feel that and sense it coming, and please just buy someone. I suppose the scary fact is, if you did go out and if this prompts SFG to put some money in, and you go out and buy a Botman and you still finish outside the top 4, then the attention firmly goes on Jurgen Klopp, doesn't it? So maybe there's an element here for like Klopp's fanboys. It's best if you don't get anybody, because if everybody's theory is that it's Klopp's system more than the players being injured that have caused the problems, then that's a different conversation. Maybe this is the perfect storm, but who knows? Listen, everyone who's tuned in today, thank you. I really appreciate all the guests, everyone who's phoned up and had their say. We're live straight after Southampton Arsenal this afternoon in the FA Cup, so make sure you're tuning in. Get across to that reaction video link now. It's open on the Football Terrace homepage. Go and like it. Set a bookmarks. You're ready for when we go live after that game. I'm sure it's going to be an entertaining game. It's the FA Cup. It's romantic. SFG out. Are you backing it or not? Hit the like button. Hit the share button. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless. Shout out to Manscaped. Get your 20% discount code of TFT. Use it on their website. Until then, take